Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your boy, P Fong. Thinking right out here in the lab where I do what I do for you. I got something nice for you today. Let's do what we do. Rightism, 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message. The message in the story for life. I give life lessons. You tune in to receive them. We got a good thing going. I appreciate you. Let's go. Right thinkers' mission, and that's what I'm on, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinkers' way of life through mental and spiritual discipline daily will help and guide you to obtain your goal of spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission is that all right thinkers know thyself. Right thinkers, if you're right thinker, your goal should be to know thyself. Let's go. So I asked the question, do you know you? It's rhetorical. But if you don't have an answer for yourself, tune in. I can help you out with that. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple. You teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. Appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believes and think that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them too. I'm the spiritual alarm clock here too. Wake you up with knowledge of self. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers, know thyself, and to Mayat, be true. Let's talk a quick lesson about meditation. I'm trying to get you to understand it. I'm trying to break it down for you. But let's get to the fact where what is meditation? Right? Quick lesson. Shouldn't take that long. Let's go. Meditation may be thought of or defined as what? A practice of mental exercises and disciplines to enable you, the aspirant, to what? Achieve control over your mind. Specifically, what? To stop the vibrations, aka negative bad thoughts, or the mind due to what? Unwanted thoughts, same thing, imaginations, etc. Meaning some people can't control what's going in their head. That's where meditation comes in and can help you take care of that problem. That's what it's meant to do. But why is this necessary? Meditation is the path to spiritual enlightenment. Meditation is a must in order to obtain spiritual enlightenment. So, meditation is an important factor that you have to understand and get a grasp of it, to use it, to benefit from it. Ordinarily, what people profess to what? Believe in. Again, I'm not big on that word believe. People believe in what? Something. Again, believe in what? Something greater than their physical existence. Okay, that's the God concept, and I get it. I understand. We got the God gene. We got to appeal to something higher than ourselves. I get it. I understand it. But what is this something that, if a person on the street is to ask, who are you? Most likely, you will point to what? Your body and say, this is me. Or giving your name and who I'm at. Okay, but what's this? But is this all there is to life? Just being me? Knowing that self will take care of that problem also. That's the goal. Watch this. But if you think you're just me, okay, many people, excuse me, no, excuse me, where we at? Okay, now, if they did, okay, they're more than life. Many people profess to believe in what? A soul. But do they really understand what it is? I'm putting it right there. That's my issue. A lot of people with belief. You can believe whatever you want, and that's your right. But if you believe in something that's not right, that's not true, aka a lie, That don't make it real. A lie is a lie is a lie. And if you believe it, don't make it no less a lie. So with meditation, you can bypass all the nonsense for yourself. Meditating is communing with your higher self. So it's a one-on-one between you and God. Ain't nobody's got nothing to do with that. Call it praying, whatever. But if you having a communication with God, if you're praying, I tell you, you're the one talking. Meditation, you're the one listening. And who's the one talking? Yeah, the clock is running. You got to understand who is inside you. That's who you really are. They call it the self, the absolute, Brahman. They got a whole bunch of names for it, God. But if you don't understand it and you just going by what you believe about it, you ain't getting no knowledge. You ain't getting no understanding. You sure ain't getting no enlightenment. 1 second. Sorry about that. But meditation is the way to communicate with your higher self. Simple. And if people understood the so-called spirit and the soul, watch this. If they understood that, then if they did understand that, why would they mourn at funerals? If you know the spirit, soul can't die, why would a person die? Oh, you fall apart at the fool. See? So again, you say one thing, but you do something else. That's unbalanced. That's not Mayat. That's not philosophically correct mathematics. They should balance out. And when they don't balance out, there's a problem. So watch this. Now, if you why you mourn at the funerals? Or what? More importantly, fear your own death. We're born, we're going to die. If you worry about dying, you really ain't thinking right. But watch this. Now, a human being, what we think we are, but we are spiritual beings. That's the part about becoming spiritual enlightened. I'm trying to get you to understand. Once you know that, you know thyself. You know you're not a human being. You're a spiritual being having a human experience. Human beings is not just a physical body. We know that, hopefully. But it's a body with what? A mind. And it generates 5 senses of the body to get the information. The body generates the senses, 5 senses, smelling, seeing, hearing, touching, and tasting. That's how the brain gets the information from the body. But the brain and the conscious has a thing of its own. In reality, what is it? There is a deeper existence, like a vast ocean of reality. Keep saying we come from the noon. We're just a wave in the ocean, but it's a big ocean, but we all part of the ocean, okay? Or a drop in the ocean, same concept. But watch this. We are in the vast ocean of, that's the reality, okay? Which most people, are not even aware of. Yeah. You tell people we come out of the noon, man, what the hell are you talking about? See? No understanding, no knowledge. But they believe in God. They believe in the spirit. They believe the soul don't die. But yet they mourn, wild out at the fool at time of death, and they scared to die. We live in the physical realm. This is the realm of what? Of the higher self, which is not physical. It's mental. Sorry. Which all the teachings of right thinking philosophy and yoga and the various practices of what? Meditation. I gave you the 5 classes of yoga practices. And they are directed where? Toward discovering the higher self, aka thyself. This hidden aspect, and we call God Amen, which means hidden. Shitat Netta means studying, understanding of the hidden God. So we try to get you to understand him. We know he hidden. We're going to expose him for you. The hidden aspect of what? Ourselves. I just gave a lesson about the witness. That's him, which never slumbers nor sleeps, which is beyond the thoughts, is known as what? You ready? Netter. Plural, netteru. Amun. We got a SAR to use as examples in the human part. Or you got a mentor. That's where we go in the dua when we reside with a SAR in eternity. Conceptually. Or y'all call it heaven. Okay, whatever. But in ancient Egyptian mystical philosophy, watch this, system of spirituality. It don't say religion. Spirituality. And in the Brahmins, he's Brahmin in what? Indian and the Vedanta philosophy. And for my Christians, as God, okay, and even as y'all call him the self. But we all have identity. We all know about that. So don't get caught up in that. The deeds that you perform personally is what he cares about from you as an individual. We're all individuals. So we can have our own individual encounter with the universal spirit. Excuse me. They know it's God. Understand that. That's what it's all about physically, philosophically, and getting understanding. Watch this. So, but now watch this. Here you go. Due to mental ignorance and the distraction and erroneous thoughts, most individuals in their lifestyles running around causing their own problem. Again, fettered fear. Why? Due to ignorance. People are now what? People are unable. With that concept, you are unable. If you follow religion, you are unable to what? To discover their higher their true higher nature. And thus, what? They experience a limited existence as ordinary human beings. Until what? Until the time of their death. You want to live free, have fun, and do what you want, because after death, it's over. If you think that, go for it. And you're just going to have to come back again, because that's wrong. And you want to live by that, you'll be back. Simple as that. You can't get to heaven on that attitude. You can't get to heaven not knowing yourself. Excuse me. But these are things that you control. Again, the higher self, again, in human beings, is like air. Get this concept. I like this. Air is free, okay? Moving in an uninstructed manner, it circulates the earth. However, if a certain volume of the air were caught in what? An airtight bottle, physical body, the air would seem to what? Be caught, trapped in the bottle experience, aka human, the body, physical. In the same manner, you following on? The same manner, the human soul is part of the cosmos, and it is all pervasive, all knowing, all conscious. That's God, and we are part of Him. Understand that? That's what we keep trying to make that point clear. However, what? As it associates with your ignorance, it associates with what? Your individual existence, aka, and become involved with what? The physical desires and the negative thoughts, fears, and ignorance of what? Their human existence, aka your ego personality. You done edge God out. You're on your own. And these are the qualities that you're going to set forth. And it loses what? Your consciousness loses sight of its all pervasiveness and its transcendental nature. So it forgets who it is. That's you, ignorant of your higher self. Hope you get that understanding. I see the clock going. I'm going to wrap it up. Let's go. But thus, the body, mind, senses, thoughts, emotions, and ignorance, which together, what? These things constitute what? Your ego personality of the human being. Why? Because it feels everything through the body. It ain't higher consciousness. That's why. And it's earthbound, which is where it's going to stay. That's why you got to raise your consciousness in order to get there. But in reality, what happens? Just like a bottle which closes off the vision of the truth, what happens? AKA the soul, which is what? Innately free and boundless. But it is caught by what? The reality of the individual ego personality, and now the pressure of the desires, longings, imaginations from this limited reality in ignorant mind, as if it what? Mesmerized the higher self. It hypnotized the higher self to believe it's the lower self. So it's winning. The ego is winning. Set is winning. If you allow that, that means Set is in control. That's not good. But watch this. Now, with this limited existence, aka self, ego self is known, you ready? As the ego consciousness. So from being universal, you go from being universal consciousness, all encompassing soul begins to what? Here we go that word again. Believe itself to be what? Individual, a human being. I told you we're spiritual beings thinking we're human. And unless we get enlightenment, unless we get conscious of who we are, we're doomed to repeat life again, aka reincarnate, or the Ouroboros, a snake that's eating his own self and going around and going nowhere. When you deal with that belief concept, That means you don't know. The definition of belief means not to know. So why would you want to go around? I believe in God. I believe in God. I believe. However, watch this. If you believe you're that individual, you're not the right thinker. Moving on. So, however, watch this. Now, in reality, the soul never stops being universal. It ain't never stop. It just don't know how to act. Why? Because you're in control of it. It's not in control of itself. It's under your control. It's been mesmerized. It's been tricked. Okay, bamboozled, led astray, all those things. The personality, the ego personality of a human being is what? Like a transient veil, like a magical illusion. It's all smoke and mirrors, that nonsense. Why? At night, what happens? The stars appear to be what? Minuscule. They so far away. But guess what? If you were to get close to them, you will see that they are what? Massive heavenly bodies of light. Now, in the same way, if you were to get what? Closer to your real self, your higher self, what happened? You would see that what? It's expansive and it's what? Limitless. I can do all things. I know thyself. And most people, watch this. The problem with most people, what? The ego personality is so prominent, I mean, it's in control, that they cannot see beyond its reality of the self, the ignorant self, the ego self. But through the process of right thinking philosophy, yoga, and meditation, when daily, you the human being, has now what? You had the possibility, watch this, of breaking through that confinement of what? Individuality, aka the ego self, in order to now discover your universality and your limitless expansion self. Sorry. So in reality, every human being is not limited or finite. Why? Unless they think they're human, that's what they do themselves. They cause themselves to be that. But with knowledge and understanding, there is what? A greater reality, which when right thinkers know thyself, you can reach and you must be discovered by every right thinkers, aka to know thyself. Now, our ancient Egyptian mysticism expresses the true nature of every human being, individual soul, as what? Composed of, watch this, you have the casual body, that's the ultimate. Then you have the astral body, that's the nervous system inside the body. Then you got the subtle body, and what they call, the astral or the subtle body, which is the nervous system inside the physical body. And then you have the physical body, 3 stages. And you got the universal soul, or the self, is what? Singular, and what? It is pure, like moi. Therefore, pure means untouched, untarnished, uncorrupted. Okay. Therefore, it is likened to what? The dot in the circle. The soul develops a mental process, and through this process, what happens? A form of ignorance or forgetfulness of its true self develops. When the ego is in control, the higher self cannot be itself. Why? It's controlled by the ego self. That's why you have to raise your conscious level. Don't worry about the low level. Why? It ain't going nowhere. Moving on. But watch this. Your soul is still there. But it remains what? As a latent witness in the deep unconscious level of the mind. It sees it's there, but it can't do nothing. Okay? It is caught in what? A powerlessness produced by what? By the web of, what you think the web is that produces the problem? Ignorance. Sorry. Yes, ignorance is ignorant, has what? Has spun itself and have taken over. Now you running on what? Egoism. That's not a good thing. Through the mind and the senses, that's the ego controlling that. It experiences what? The universe through the physical body. Everything got to be touched, smelt, heard, or heard, and to deal with. The 5 senses is in control. That's the lower nature. Life, death, happiness, sadness, etc. All that comes to the human being. However, in reality, your universal soul is what is never touched or affected by any other occurrence in your life. But the individual soul, nevertheless, experiences what? Them as being what? real, and compelling. They got to go with, they ain't got no other choice. So, in addition, the individual soul is really what? One with the universal soul, but while it's in the individual, the belief it is moral, the belief is now it thinks its mortal existence is being what? Real. The thing is real. And the individual soul from it keeps the individual soul from what? Discovering its true, deeper, transcendental reality. Therefore, watch this, for you ignorant people, your soul travels on a journey, which involves what? Many life experiences of what? Birth and then what? Death. Why? Until what? The physical existence, death, as well as what? The myriad of experiences which occur in what? In your dreams and even in the afterlife state. You either gonna go through heaven or hell. Good deeds out, you saw good work, you lived up in heaven. Bad deeds out, you know you're going to hell. It's just that simple. It ain't complicated. Again, it's about Mayat and having choice and making the best choice for you. When you meditate and go to your higher self, you can make better decisions for yourself. That's a lesson. Right thinkers, in closing, may you all live to be 100 and be 100 minus a day. So I never know that right thinkers like you have passed away. Keep on meditating. I'll be back.